So obviously we had, I believe it was CPI today, if I remember that correctly. Yeah. So we had CPI today. Um, Obviously, quite a drastic fall for NQ. I believe most markets dumped today. I managed to catch a small retracement trade for just over 50 points. But now I'm kind of eyeing up this level here. I want this area to get swept. And then tap into a 5-minute zone just here. This single bearish candle I'd like for us to come and tap into, but respect. The reason I'm saying that is because obviously we had... where am I looking? Yeah, so we had this sort of big impulse up to the upside, breaking this high. We came back, we tapped back into the zone, and then we pushed back up, making new highs. We kind of have then come back, we've tapped into this area again, but this time failing to make new highs. So that tells me that we're now going to come back and drop a little bit more. So I think this area here mainly, this one not so much, but this one mostly is going to be acting as our draw on liquidity. And then my zone of interest after that point is going to be here. Just because this is kind of whereabouts this whole move started. Obviously, this is also whereabouts it started, but we've already had a tap into that zone. So this is going to be my next area of interest. So going to be looking for longs for the day, but come New York Open, I definitely want to see kind of a continuation to this bearish news reaction. We've got just under 11 minutes until the market's open. ES is pretty much the same idea. Just targeting this 5-minute zone. I will be watching for whichever one hits it first, though. The drop has been really massive. Yeah. I mean, it's what, about 400 points? Oh, yeah. So from the high to low, it's 338 points. But I've kind of found that CPI is usually more reactive than NFP, or at least lately it has been. But also CPI, you kind of get a continuation from the initial reaction, and that's why I'm definitely now thinking that we're going to come and sweep these zones. It's been quite a slow week for me though, so if we do miss this, then we'll try and see if something forms during New York session on the 1-minute time frame. But yeah, hoping to catch our first live trade of the week today. Obviously, I caught 50 points earlier, but that wasn't on live, or at least on the live stream, I mean. So yeah, hoping to actually catch something with you guys this week. It's been choppy markets though, very choppy. Sometimes I do like to play around with news though. You know, kind of like set an order, for example, like sort of here, maybe like 40 or 30 points below, 30 or 40 points above. See which one gets tapped into. Obviously, this time it would have tapped in, and then would have continued dropping. But obviously, you don't get true entry. You know, entry probably would have been somewhere around here, but still would have been a decent trade. But I definitely do that on sort of, you know, either accounts that I don't really care about or very low lots, because you know, it can be a huge gamble. Do you have big slippage in futures? Not really. With news, you definitely can do. But yeah, I don't think I've ever actually experienced slippage on futures. The most you kind of get is sort of out of hour spread. So obviously futures has extremely small spread. It's usually about one tick. But out of hours, so sort of like Asia session, and kind of during London, you get about a 5 tick spread, which oddly enough is about the average spread of like a Forex account. So other than that, you don't really have any issues with futures. You just have to make sure that your contracts are set properly and that your data feed is right. What we're looking about 7 minutes until the markets are open. So pretty much just chilling out until then. I'm not really seeing any other setups. I'd love to see this area kind of, get grabbed and then gives us confirmation for our higher time frame idea of basically just coming up, sweeping these highs here, tapping into a nice order block or something, then break it down onto either the 5 minute or the 1 minute, catch the same sort of move, and then try and possibly swing trade it all the way down to these lows here. If it does that, then I definitely think that we'll get a market reversal for the first, say, 6 to 8 months of this year, possibly even the whole year. So as I'm sure you're all aware, the markets are definitely overinflated at the moment. And that's mostly just down to tech stocks just absolutely mooning due to their, AI advancements and stuff. I'll have a quick look at gold. Gold, I would say, has probably burnt out for now. I can kind of see it dropping. To be honest, this area here would actually be pretty decent for sales. Possibly interested in it trying to attack this low again. Grab about 28 points. But I'll be staying out of gold, so... how far will you go back for an OB to be valid? Until it's kind of established not to be. I kind of just want to look at each zone as its own thing. This area here doesn't really have any active order blocks, but definitely has a lot of liquidity built up within these wicks. And then you're just kind of looking back for an area that, should be revisited but hasn't yet, and gave us a decent reaction. And for me, that would be here. Obviously, we pushed up, we broke this high here, and yeah, I don't know. I'd be happy to go back sort of weeks, to be honest. Obviously, I can't really do that because I like to trade on very low time frames, 1 minute wherever possible. But yeah, I mean, orders get placed and left there for months. So as far as like institutional trading goes, we're not really after reseller positions. We're after institutionalized orders, and yeah, they'll get left for as long as the charts go back. Looking for anything in particular today. So I want to see a continuation from the CPI drop. Come and sweep out this candle here. Definitely think this is a draw on liquidity. And then I want to see this 5-minute area get tapped into. Just because I feel like we've seen some nice reactions off of this zone. We also saw this area kind of come down, tap into this area, respect it immediately, push up, and then gave us a new high. We then had this area from this monumental move come in, get tapped into, and then again push up, give us a new high. This area here, however, we saw it kind of retest this zone, but failed to give us a new high. So now I think that the time has come for this area now to get swept, but long-term play is that I want to see all these highs get swept. So wanting it to try and respect kilos, this being one of them, hence why we're targeting a little bit higher. And then basically just come up and sweep these highs, tap in somewhere around here. Obviously that will be broken down as and when the time comes. And then try and short the market kind of all the way down to these lows and then see a solid market reversal. Because for now we've just been kind of stuck in this like consolidation range. 50% or 100% of order block, when do you decide which to choose? So I usually enter on both. So I'll enter a small, what I like to call a keeper. So it just keeps you in the move, just in case you do not get the 50%. But I like to enter a keeper position, sort of at the 100, and then my main position, so a lot larger lot size, will be placed at the 50%. Just because I've noticed that the majority of these trades do hit the 50% and then run for take profit. So it just helps keep that risk to reward small, and yeah, obviously allow you to have a much larger position with a lot less risk on. Some people that trade this way, they'll have their whole position just set at the 100. Obviously then risking a little bit, well, placing a little bit, fewer orders, just because their stop loss will be larger. But, just kind of ensures that they then catch every move. For me, that's why I just place a little keeper position, and then I have my main position set at the 50. Uh, 20 seconds till the market's open, so hopefully we get a nice drop. We might get sort of like an influx of buyers, just because obviously we have dropped quite a lot, but I don't really want us to drop past sort of like the 50% area. So around this level here. Don't really want us to drop below there. Sorry, go above there. But would overall like for just a continuation to the downside. Markets have officially opened. I'll break this onto the 1 minute just so we can see price action a little better. I'm expecting buyers to burn out soon. There doesn't really seem to be too much pressure. Obviously that is if my analysis is right. We could be waiting for a different day before we come and sweep this low. I don't think we'll get another Monday gap though. They've definitely kind of got smaller and smaller as the weeks have gone on. So I don't think we're going to get another cut and paste week next week. I've come to realise how much I hate the sound of my own voice. So I've been recording videos for YouTube, and having to like watch back all the footage and stuff. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. But the first video has been made. I've got to do some editing on it. It's only a little bit of light editing, just adding like an outro or logo or something. And then just cropping like the start and finish so it looks a little bit more smooth. So you don't actually see me, starting the recording, ending the recording. And then, yeah, that'll be posted. So, finally starting my YouTube journey. I'm not expecting it to attract loads of people, but even if it makes one extra person come and join the Discords, can't really go wrong, can you? It's a lot of work though. Never actually realised how much of a full-time job recording videos would be. And it's not even like I'm doing, major like studio production either. It's literally just me sat in my office just talking into a webcam. So I don't know how all these major YouTubers go about it. You've got a nice voice, absolutely great accent. People strangely don't like their own recorded voice. Yeah, I feel like it's because like you sound different in like your own head, don't you? Um, it's the same way that like in the mirror, like like when you look at yourself in the mirror, you don't see yourself the same way that other people see you. Um, and yeah, it's weird how like the brain plays tricks on you basically. But I'm sure as time goes on, I'll get over it. I'll get used to it. Uh, I just hope that you know when I meet up with people, no one starts playing videos of me in front of myself. It'd be really awkward. I don't really want us to just spend the whole of New York session just refilling this gap. Long way round. Yeah, we're getting close to that 50%. Almost makes me wish I held my my retracement long. Somewhere around here. I think it was maybe there. Yeah, that was about right. And then obviously from there we've gone up another 67 points. So it was only a quick scalp though, so I don't mind. Getting a bit tired though, these markets just pushing up in one direction. Kind of been doing it all week. So it's not really what we're looking for. Have a look at gold, shall we? Yeah, gold's starting to push down. I do reckon that gold's due continuation to this drop. I don't think that it has enough power to really keep pushing up anymore. I know that obviously there's also a lot of people that are expecting it to hit the $3,000 mark, but given sort of yesterday and today's price action, I don't think that's going to happen this week. Or at least not yet, anyway. ES has not moved much compared to NQ. Yeah, that's usually the case. ES has smaller moves, and then NQ kind of reacts to ES getting moved, and so it will move in a more volatile way. Usually it means that say if NQ comes and takes this high, but ES hasn't, ES will then basically try and target this high in order to match NQ, which will then drag NQ even higher. Can be used as a really good sort of confluence for getting into trades, just so long as you have sort of a clear entry zone and a clear stop loss, because obviously you don't just want to be jumping in solely based off of that. You still want some form of market structure. US 30 is getting a nice continuation to the downside, however. No real zone for us on US 30 though. I'd definitely kind of mark all of these lows as like liquidity on US 30. So come and take all of these, and then there's no real clear zone of entry either. It's why I've not really been trading US 30 as much like these past couple months. Is the price action just, I don't know, it's been a little bit hit and miss. It's not really been following our standard structure that we look for. Yeah, not really liking the markets today. Who knows? It could be a whole week of me not getting any trades. It's the one downside really of my strategy is you kind of need like a trending market. Um, you know, when you have a clearly defined trend, then you tend to find that it has those nice pullbacks that you get in on, and then you can just ride it for full take profit, and even like leave runners that'll still go an extra, you know, 100 points. But with how sideways we've been going lately, it's just, yeah, it's not been great for us. You know, we caught some nice moves along here. Same with the previous week, but yeah, on the grand scheme of things, it's been slow. You know, you definitely want a higher time frame trend to kind of follow along with, and you know, we just haven't got that. During this week here, we were killing it. Not week, during this sprint. But yeah, we're just not getting those pullbacks, you know. And it's just kind of have a drop, immediately buy it back up, have another drop, immediately buy it back up. Obviously, you can trade those, but I don't really feel inclined to, because you can already guarantee the second you actually try and trade it, it'll be the one time that it doesn't buy it back up. Who knows? Maybe Powell speaking will give us a little bit of power into the markets. You can already see it, the markets are kind of dying out, waiting for it, so... Yeah, there's less orders being placed as well. We've almost fully filled the delta from the CPI drop though, which then usually then means that there'll be a divergence, and from there then you can expect a reversal. So there's still hope that we get a drop. I don't really have any area of interest around here though. Obviously we've pushed up and we've broken this high, but there's no real like liquidity for us to grab. There's nothing of any interest to me. It's been a really hard week this week. Like just having to like try and force myself to stay out of the markets, you know. Like even that kind of like, you know, retracement trade that I took. Like I didn't even really want to take that. I just kind of felt like I should, just because obviously I've not traded all week, which is it's a bad mindset to have. But yeah, it's been really hard, man. Like normally I'm catching trades sort of either every day or every other day, and you know we've had like 3 days in a row now where it's just the markets are just giving us nothing. There's a couple of like little trades that you'd be able to take sort of like out of hours, but you know even then it's, you know, it's too, well, it's not even too risky, it's just that it's out of hours. You know, I like to stick within my time frame. And yeah, the markets have just not been providing anything during New York. It's rough, man. It's really rough. Or at least nothing for my strategy. You know, I bet there's other people out there that have been loving this sideways action, because you know it's pretty easy sort of like supply and demand like methods, but I don't know. Not my kind of markets, but I knew that sort of, you know, when Trump got elected, that my trading would have to slow down, because the markets would go either they'd go super heavy in one direction, or they'd just become really unsure and confused as to which direction they want, which is exactly what's happened. You know, indecisive markets are a true like account killer. And yeah, it's just been a really tough week. I love the quote, I think by Rudy, when you place a trade, ask if you're building a long-term system or if you're feeding a bad habit. Exactly. And that's kind of what this trade here was you know, I wouldn't say it was feeding a bad habit, but it was definitely feeding a desire. You know, it was feeding an urge to trade. Obviously, it was a winning trade, but yeah, I probably shouldn't have taken it. It was about 1-to-1 risk, because I was kind of going off of like this area just here. I wasn't going for the full wick, but I was kind of going like this low area here as like my sort of stop loss area. And then yeah, I saw some decent profit, so I closed out, and obviously I'm thankful that I did. But yeah, it was probably a trade that I shouldn't have taken. And yeah, everything else has just been rough this week. You know, it's a little bit sort of demoralizing. Even as a professional trader, you know, it is demoralizing when, you know, you can go 2, 3, 4 days and not to get a single setup. But then you also have to remember, you know, last week we had 2 trades, both of them went straight away to our take profits. So, you know, you just have to remind yourself sometimes that your system does work and there's a reason why that system is in place. Sam, how you doing, bro? Welcome to the stream. Getting some nice bearish action so far, now that the Powell testimony started. Shout out to Michael for letting me know that it is actually testimony and not testification. I'd love to see all of this get swept and then just come back down to our zone here and just get us in for the trade. It'd be a crazy trade to catch as well. It'd be, what, 500 points? Realistically, we should target this high here. But you know, I don't even think that the markets will actually move that much just today. So it'd be a case of just closing out when you're happy with profits. But you know, for anyone that's into swing trades, it could be worthwhile holding it. Obviously, if it doesn't get stopped out straight away. I'm liking this action though. I want to see it break. I want to see it break through this zone here. And obviously I want to see it break through this area. Both of which are going to be high areas of interest for people that kind of go off of, you know, discount prices. You know, so we could see kind of retracements from each. If we get another break of this high, then we could even get a sort of mid-term 1 minute setup. You know, push back up, come down, sweep the low, and then either use this as our area of interest or this area here. See if we can get a long back up to obviously the new planted high. Could take a little while for it to play out though. But first of all, we need to see a break of this high before we tap into either of these 2 zones for now. Oh, the markets are so slow. We're like almost an hour in, and it's just done basically nothing. It seems it's going to play MSS buy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, push back up, break this high, then come back down, sweep this area, tap into here, hopefully, and then obviously we run it up to the newly planted highs. But it's just really taking its time. Yeah, the one that we caught like last Thursday. Yeah, that happened pretty quick. You know, we literally it broke the highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, 19 minutes later, we caught our entry, and then you know we took profit, but this one's just really dragging it out. And to be fair, it's not even confirmed yet because we're not even pushing back up to come and break this high. So I won't be entering if it taps in because obviously we've not had that continuous break of structure. Or market structure shift even. I mean, already tapped into this area of interest. We've not swept it yet though. So hopefully we can sweep it here. Nope. I'll say if we can sweep this and then push back up, give us a new high, come back down, tap into here, and then we can just fly up. But I don't know. 3 minute. Nothing of any real significance. 5 minute. Yeah. Kind of only really the 1 minute that I wanted to play out on. But we've just not really managed to sweep this area. We're about 1 tick away. 2 ticks even. We'll see what happens though. Probably give it about another half an hour. If nothing happens, then we'll call it a day. A good example though is this. So obviously you've got the main price here, and then you've got the cumulative delta here. And you can see how it's kind of come back up, refilled all of this CPI drop on the delta, and now we're starting to see heavy sellers kind of stepping in. Meanwhile, the actual price itself came kind of nowhere near. So it's not quite a divergence because usually a divergence you're wanting this to be, you know, sort of like above that main high. But you know, it's definitely a good way to kind of like visualize what's actually happening. And then you know you can kind of position your cursor over whereabouts it is currently. And obviously when we were here last time we were there, so now we're higher but we're at the same point. So that probably then means that the market's gonna slowly try and move up, which then hopefully gives us that break. But yeah, it's a fun little tool to mess around with. Definitely worth doing some research into if you haven't used it before. It's not like I say, it's not the strongest indicator that's out there, but you know it can be useful nonetheless. Trying to see what you're doing. So we originally wanted markets open to kind of continue the push down from CPI, sweeping this wick here and then tapping into this zone and then catching buys. But markets have been a little bit dead. But we have however seen we've pushed up, we've broken this high. We've also obviously broken this area. although that's not really a key level, but mainly focusing on this one. We've come back down, so now we're hoping that this comes and forms our sort of like liquidity level. Then we want it to come, break a new high, come back down, taking this liquidity, tapping into this area here, and then we come back up and we'll be targeting this high. So that'll be kind of the plan. If you're feeling really risky, you could even try and run this up towards sort of like the CPI highs. Whether or not you actually get that, I don't think it will happen. But the main target should be, well, not this high, but you know, the newly planted high that it'll form once it takes it. Could happen tomorrow though. Makes sense. I mean, daily looks kind of gross on this. Yeah, I agree. You know, my higher time frame idea has remained to be that we come up and we take these wicks, and then we tap into here and we short the whole way down, and then you know we can finally see a change in trend, but it's hard to see happening. And I mean, I'm not really a high time frame trader either, so you know, I wouldn't really take my analysis as gospel at this point. Getting close to breaking the high though. ES already did. Not yet for me. But ES definitely looking pretty similar trade. Possibly even in a cleaner looking trade. Definitely a nicer area of interest from ES there. But I don't know. Like I said, I'll give it about another half an hour. We've officially now broken the high. Oh yeah, on 4x charts maybe, yeah. But yeah, give it another half an hour. If nothing's happened, then I'll call it a day and maybe keep an eye on it sort of outside of the stream. Obviously, if you do end up taking it, just drop us a message in the Profit Syndicate channel and just let us know. And hopefully it works out for you. There you go. ES has just took the high and dragged NQ higher. So now what you're wanting is now you want to see NQ just come back down, tap into this area here, and then push back up and target this newfound high. If you guys are looking for like a really easy way to journal, by the way, I fully recommend just opening like a Discord server with just you in it. Super easy way to just be able to, you know, have full chat history. You know, it's private because obviously it's only you that's in the server. And yeah, you just, you know, take a screenshot, post it in, write a little like, you know, explanation for why you think the trade will work out, or why you took the trade, or why it didn't work out. And yeah, it's just a really easy and free way to have a journaling system that's quite effective. Yeah, I mean, it's what I've done. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really journal very much, and it's got a lot of pictures that I've, you know, like sent to my, like I've took on my phone, sent it in, and then forwarded on to you guys, because I remember most asked me to take a picture of my setup. In a previous stream, we talked about the bike that I'm gonna get, but you know, it's always good to, you know, just log some stuff. But yeah, it's, you know, cost friendly and effective. I do PowerPoint for journaling. Discord sounds good too. Yeah, PowerPoint would work. Do you do like a new PowerPoint per trade, or do you just add it to a? Yes, okay. I just imagine like, standing up in front of like an audience and just playing like a PowerPoint and being like, "This is the trade I took," and then it swaps over to like the next slide, and it's like, big capital letters at the top. Why did I take this trade? Well, and then you just go into like a full like, explanation. and then and then another slide after. Did the trade work out? No. Which like a big sad face. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be playing out anytime soon. I'm probably going to end the stream. However, before I do go, does everyone understand why we were looking at this setup and, kind of the market plan that we were trying to go ahead with? Or does anyone need any sort of further explanation? Alright then, guys. In that case, I'm going to end the stream here. Feel free to obviously keep an eye out for this. It could still very well play out, but for now, I'm going to go because there's no point having you guys just watch dead markets. So have a great rest of your day, and for those of you that are in the Profit Syndicate channel, I will catch you for tomorrow's stream. Much love, and catch you tomorrow.